I think we're just going to start, just go straight for it. So, hello and welcome back to the Lion's Den. I'm your host, Matt, as always, and I have a little bit of a topic to talk today, but you know what? I want to jump into a couple of things that I am excited about. So, in the UK, we have these things called Mac holidays. I don't exactly know why we have them, I'll be perfectly honest, but I'm going to take it because it means I get a day off work. Now, the next one that's coming up is this Monday, which is the 2nd of May, I believe. So, what did I decide to do? I'm going to go see a movie! Because I'm an adult. I can do that. So I think one of the fun things is when you become an adult is you have the freedom to just kind of go and do stuff. And there's a lot of websites and blogs, articles, things that I've seen over the years that kind of imply that when you're an adult, a really nice thing to do for yourself is just go and do stuff, but alone. It kind of sounds sad, but it makes sense. Like there's the idea of go shopping on your own, just wander around some stores, look at clothing or items that you are interested in. Like I have a bit of retail therapy where I go and look at technology because I think it's cool. Another one is go and have a meal by yourself. Go someplace to a restaurant and have a nice meal on your own and chill. Which I've done a similar thing, which is I used to go to coffee shops and buy a coffee and maybe a piece of cake and just sit, maybe have some music on or just chill. Like it seems stupid because you can do that at home, but it is really nice just doing it somewhere else. But another thing that you can do is go and see a movie by yourself or a film, depending on how you want to call it. So I'm going to do that on Monday because we got a day off. And my logic is I'm going to go for the earliest show for the film that I want to watch. So hopefully it will be quiet. Based on the seat booking system, I think there's 7 people, including myself. So unless it randomly fills up super quickly, it's going to be a very empty theatre. So that's one thing that I'm excited about. A slightly second thing that I'm also excited about is I fixed the date system problem I had at work with Excel. Yeah, very small thing. Basically, there was a way that I figured out you could change the checkbox that sets the default date format on the Excel spreadsheet. So now it's formatted in the UK and I know exactly what I'm reading and there's no discrepancy in it. Woo! Okay. Yeah, I just thought I'd put that out there because, it's the small things in life, right? It's the small things. Okay, so on to today's topic of conversation. We're diving into the We're diving into the realm of psychology once more, and I'd like to discuss the whole concept of being unable to complete things. Yeah, I have a very weird, small, irrational fear. I say small, it might be bigger than I know, but I have an irrational fear of things ending. I hate finishing stuff, even though there is some sense of achievement to completion, but I also hate the fact that it ends. Like, if something's really, really good and you're really enjoying it, you just kind of want it to keep going and going and going, and it's why a lot of people are very upset when things end, like, I don't know, a TV show or something, because it's kind of, you're like, oh, I want more of it, right? But there isn't more of it. So a couple examples are things like video games. I'm very bad for not finishing video games, and there are some video games that to this day I've still not finished. For example, Majora's Mask, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. I haven't finished it, even though I know how it ends, and I have the game, and I'm like one step from the final boss of the game, haven't finished it. And it's funny because I saw this post where a person bought a pre-owned copy of, what was it? Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days, right? They bought a pre-owned copy, so they said, oh, let's have a look at the save data on it. And the previous owner literally got to 357, day 357. I assume based on the number of the game, 358, you're basically right at the end of the game, which is hilarious because I'm the exact same with video games. And I've done it recently as well, which is the stupid thing. I got Kirby and the Forgotten Land, fantastic game. Phenomenal, love it. I was going for 100% completion because it's quite easy, to be honest. Maybe that's because it's a children's game. Shh, don't tell anyone. But I got very close to 100%, so I was like, yeah, I'll go for it. I dropped the game. Classic Matt. Even though I literally need to maybe collect a few more items and then I'll be done. Because I'm at 92% or something really stupidly close. So, the other game that I haven't finished yet is Age of Calamity, despite the fact that I scream about that to everybody who likes Zelda because I think it's phenomenal and I love Breath of the Wild and I love all of the characters in it and yeah. It's weird, like, why can't I put the time down to finish it? I think that's why I'm very much into endless games. Like, I've been playing a lot of Smash Bros recently because there is no end to it. You just keep playing. Things like Animal Crossing, I've put hundreds of hours into because, again, that doesn't have a definitive ending. Although I haven't picked Animal Crossing back up. Don't tell my villagers. Yeah, it's bizarre, like that concept of not being able to finish something, because in your mind you think the minute I complete it, it's going to be put down forever and I'll never pick it back up. Even though that's not true, you can revisit stuff and have that enjoyment in the moment, and there's always another thing to move on to that's equally as good. And if you're stuck playing the same thing or holding on to the same thing, you're holding yourself back from experiencing even more, I think is the daft thing. So I kind of have to push myself at some point to finish games and move on, and to know that they are still there and I can always come back to them. Another thing that I very struggle with finishing is like TV shows or anime or just cartoons, things like that. The biggest thing for me is the one anime I'm still currently working through is My Hero Academia. I literally have one episode of season 5 that I haven't watched because I don't want to finish it, despite the fact that I know there's more coming, because there's way more of the manga, I imagine, and therefore they're probably producing more of the show. So it's like, dude, just watch that episode and then wait for the next one. For the biggest time, I got stuck with Doctor Who because I didn't want to finish Doctor Who. That's really good. But I'm now doing the second half of what I said I would do with Doctor Who, which is I watched the things I'd never seen before, i.e. from Matt Smith onwards, and now I've gone back to the very beginning of the new Doctor Who, if that makes sense, and I'm watching from there up to then, again, the point that I started this adventure. But I keep picking it up and putting it down. I think the problem is as well, especially with TV shows, is there's that tendency to binge. You know, it's really good, right? It's really enjoyable and you want to watch more and more and more, but each episode is 45 minutes. So if I watch 3, that's an hour, 2 hours, 15, right? That's 2 hours, 15. That's a lot of time to dedicate to just watching a TV show. So it's like, if only I had the ability to regulate my intake of TV shows. Again, there's more shows I think that I've got sitting on the back burner, stuff that I haven't even started that I'm like, oh yeah, I'll watch it eventually, which is why I'm forever telling people, like, don't tell me spoilers about a TV show you're watching now, because I might watch it in the future, but I probably won't. And yeah, sure, Matt, yeah, you will do that. I think the funniest thing for the longest time is I didn't finish a specific film, and that was Ponyo, the Studio Ghibli film Ponyo. And I think it was the English adaptation that has Liam Neeson in it, because of course it does. For some reason, I kept starting that film, watching maybe like the first half an hour, and then just not finishing it. I don't know why. It's not even to do with this whole scenario of I don't want to finish it because it's really good. Like, it's a good film. It's not stellar, or it doesn't sit in my mind rent free. I just, for some reason, kept stopping and not finishing it for whatever reason. I did eventually go back and finish it. So yeah, I do know how that film ends. It's a bit of a weird ending, I'm not gonna lie, but sure. Yeah, weird. Do you guys have any issues with finishing things like I do? That sounds really bad out of context. Anyway, yeah, I've now run out of things to say, but we need to fill the time a little bit more. So why don't we just talk about Studio Ghibli films, you know? Because they're cool. They're really cool. And if you haven't seen a Studio Ghibli film, I guarantee you there is one that you will like. If you like fantasy stuff, they got it. If you like kind of action movies, they got it. You like mystery, not crime dramas, but like mystery puzzle solving stuff, like Professor Layton, they got it. They hit every nail in every head. Square on, baby, is amazing. I think my favorite film from Studio Ghibli, of the ones I've seen, has to be From Up on Poppy Hill. It's not even a fantasy one, right? It's like a slice of life mixed in with history and family drama, and it's really mature, but yet really fun and cartoony and cute at the same time. It rides that line really well, and it's the one film that I can reliably make myself cry. I'm not afraid to admit that. There is a specific part of that film that just makes me drowning in tears because it's so emotional, and it just, I don't know, it doesn't even hit like a relatable heartstring for me because I'm not in that scenario at all, but it tugs something inside me and I love it. There are some amazing Studio Ghibli films though, like Castle of Cagliostro or something. It's really hard to say. That's a fun one. There's Ponyo, obviously. There's Howl's Moving Castle, which is a classic. Nausicaa Valley of the Wind. That's really interesting. That's kind of like a war between different species. That's really interesting. So I would highly recommend you look into it. Oh, Spirited Away. How could I forget Spirited Away? Another amazing film. So yeah, you'll find something in Studio Ghibli that you like. 100% guaranteed. If you don't, I don't know what to say. I can't offer you anything, I'm afraid. So anyway, that should hopefully fill up our time. I hope you've enjoyed listening. I've tried to be a little bit more high energy and energetic today. I don't know why. I just kind of launched into being hyper. Anyway, maybe it's all the coffee I've had. Right, I hope you've all enjoyed listening. Stay safe, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!